And you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Whoa, halfway there, baby. Halfway there, episode 4, Too Hot to Handle. We are calling it the feel-good episode, guys. There was a lot of feels this episode, a lot of feels, not a lot of drama or anything, but guys, we're right here. We're going to break it down. My name is Mike Feeling. You're watching AfterBuzz TV, and this is your after show for episode 4, season 1 of the Too Hot to Handle Netflix. You guys know I don't do this show alone. I am joined by an amazing panel. On my screen, to my left is Kelsey.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, there wasn't enough drama in this episode for me. I was anticipating a lot more. It was good. It made my heart happy, but this show is not about happy hearts, you know?
This episode 4 is a little too lukewarm to handle. Yeah. And of course, Tori.
Yes, I would agree. I was expecting so much drama, especially following the previous episode, but I guess everything isn't about that. It's about the money.
Rounding out our panel is Jesse.
Yes, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us in the live chat. We already have people in the live chat talking about this episode, so we'll share their comments pretty soon here.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us in the live chat. We had so much fun. Guys, this is the 4th episode. It's also the 4th episode that the 4 of us have done for you guys today. We love it. It's the last episode for today, but we are going to do the rest of the season coming up on Sunday and Monday. I'm going to give you the exact times before we go. Put all your comments and stuff in the live chat. Jesse's going to shout a bunch of you guys out. You know how we do this. We're going to go through all the plot points of the episode. We're going to discuss, but first, I'm going to get some overall thoughts. I'm going to go back around opposite. Jesse, overall thoughts of episode 4.
So the first episode was just, like I said last time, kind of boring, but we had to kind of get to know everybody. The second and third episode really left me wondering what is happening next and getting excited. This episode, though, it kind of brought us back because the previews for this episode looked like Bryce was going to come in and stir a bunch of drama up, but there was none of it. So I was just kind of shocked by that. And I guess I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season. Not much happened this episode. Well, there is stuff that happened, but not what I was thinking was going to happen, I guess.
That's all right, Tori.
Yeah, I would say the same. I definitely thought even though I predicted the passes, I low-key wasn't predicting them to come anymore. After you guys kind of told me that it wasn't going to happen. I was like, oh yeah, of course it's not. And then this episode, I was like, oh wow, well this kind of neutralizes things. The money is still, this big cloud following them, but now they have these passes. I don't think they'll have that many deductions. I don't know. So it seemed like this episode was a little bit more based on finding a genuine connection, which I think has been the one time they've actually tried this entire series.
Yeah, Kelsey.
The one thing I did like about this episode is I feel like it exposed people who cared about genuine connections and creating that versus people who didn't. It was like, Francesca was pissed that he wouldn't make out with her, and then she dumped him. And I'm like, girl,
we're going to talk about
you kidding me? So, as much as I wanted the drama because that's what I was expecting, it was kind of nice to see. I was like, okay, we're not all complete dingbats.
Yeah. This episode was weird for me. I know that it's episode 4, but I was kind of taken aback that we were already halfway through. Because it seems like last episode was day 3, maybe. And I thought they were there for a whole month. So my timeline is definitely really messed up for this show. I missed the drama. The whole reason why I'm watching this show is to see them cheat on the rules, right? And I actually don't like the wristband because I can make a genuine connection with somebody and then I just get permission to hook up anyway. What's the point of abstaining? If we're going to do it, then do it, make it. I don't know. I don't know how much I like that, but overall, I want the story to continue, and let's see some of the other people really get into some antics. I'm missing Matt. I'm missing Nicole. We're kind of missing David after he, does whatever. We're still missing a bunch of Chloe, and now let's not forget we're basically missing Harry too for the past 2 episodes because Francesca's been gone or pursuing other stuff. So let's get into it, guys. We find out right off the bat, Haley is unsure of Bryce living on a houseboat. Does that mean he's rich or poor? We don't know either, right? And the people, a bunch of them coming in thought that he was a talk show host, which I think is hilarious. It mirrors what we said before. I didn't think he was actually a contestant. It was kind of strange. Or they're kind of not really sure what to think about him. He again lets all the gentlemen know that, of course, he hooks up with a different girl every single day, like clockwork, no problem. That's Bryce. And we get from Sharron, and the beginning of this kind of sets up the rest of the episode for him, that he's not sure if he can connect. He doesn't really think it's going to get there with Rhonda. And that kind of becomes a dead end in the beginning of the show, which obviously opens stuff up for David. Just getting a little bit more into it. Harry, of course, is waiting for Francesca to come to him. Why? And Francesca instead is getting to know Kelz better. And we find out that, of course, she's a professional Instagram model. Well, I just said a lot of stuff. Tori, what do you think about really quick, we had 3 kind of relationships jumps right there, right? So Harry's just waiting. He's not pursuing. Francesca's going after Kelz. And we see Sharron kind of almost break things off initially with Rhonda. How are you feeling right now in the beginning with these people?
In the beginning, I was kind of like, what is going on? Harry, obviously, like, his feelings are still hurt. And I don't really know if his plan is working or is not working, because it kind of in the end seems like Francesca is going to go back to him, or is thinking about going back to him.
Sure.
I was kind of like, okay, Harry, I guess we'll see how this plays out. Sharron and Rhonda, I knew that his comments were going to cause some sort of tension between them, because it wasn't even just him saying that he wasn't going to be able to open up. I mean, at the campfire, he was saying how he doesn't think he's going to find love or walk out of this with anyone. And I could see how that was kind of like taking Rhonda aback. So I can only imagine like the tension that it caused between them, or just kind of like a little hiccup. So I wasn't surprised that she was exploring her options a little bit and just kind of seeing, if she had any connections with anyone else. And I mean, we saw her and David in the first episode, and they never really got to see if that was anything, because Sharron just kind of swept in and took over. So It was interesting kind of seeing them play out. I definitely think that Francesca was just after Kelz just because she's a rule breaker and she's bored at this point. Because I mean, even she says she doesn't really know what she's doing. She's just hopping from one thing to the next, which is not to say that in a bad thing, but you're not going to get a green light for genuine connections if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey, tell me what you think about these people. If you want to focus a little on Francesca, she's another one, like we talked about previously, that I say over and over again, optics. This is not looking good. The way that she's acting doesn't look good back in the real world when this is over.
Not at all. And I mean, I feel badly being like, I really dislike you, but I really dislike her, and I agree. I wonder how it will play out for her. I feel like she'll get more of her followers, but like, and that's maybe all that she wanted. But it's so interesting to watch this, and she was so mad that Kelz didn't kiss her and like didn't break the rules, because she's like, I always get what I want. Guys come to me, and I'm like, oh my god, I hated it. I hated it. So I don't know. Maybe I think that Harry's gonna wait for her, and she's gonna come around, and she's gonna go back to him because Kelz didn't give her what she wanted. But I hope that Harry realizes that he can explore other options too, and he shouldn't wait for her. I don't think that's going to happen, but I wish it would.
Jesse, what do you think? Should Harry talk to some other chicks?
No, I actually think Harry's great for her. I'm not a fan of Harry, and I'm not a fan of Francesca. I mean, I was not a fan of Francesca at the beginning. Then when she went off on him, now I'm not again. I mean, she's like purposely like stirring it up and like making people lose money. Like, she's trying so hard.
Yeah.
It comes off so thirsty. It's like, just please stop. Like,
yeah.
Kelz was so good. And last episode, we all were like, he's not going to break the rules. And I was like, oh my gosh, watch him do it this episode. But he was so good.
Yeah.
He's a huge upgrade from Harry. Even the narrator knows that. But she still has this thing for Harry because Kelz wouldn't kiss her. Sorry, he didn't want to lose $3,000 for kissing you once. It's like, who cares? But I think Harry's good for her because Harry, I don't like him either. And I don't think he is going to go like try to connect. I don't think he's the kind of guy that connects with people. And I don't think
Yeah.
Francesca is the kind of girl that does. So they're perfect for each other.
All right. We'll see.
Right. Well
we'll
said.
see if the waiting game is going to play out. But first, we've got some partying to do. Thanks to boat captain Bryce throwing the shindig on the beach. There's captain hats. There's sailor equipment. There is my favorite drink, a Moscow Mule. It looks like floating around there. I love some copper cups. That's fantastic. And then, of course, if you didn't think Bryce could become better, we have an electric keyboard ready for him to sing and play an original ballad that he wrote himself. Guys, Kelsey,
Amazing.
Tori,
I
thought it was funny that for a hot second, Bryce seemed to blame the equipment and need to do a little knob adjustment as to why things weren't going right for him. What did you think of this performance?
I mean, it was hilarious. And I mean, the issue wasn't him playing, it was him singing. So him turning the knobs wasn't going to help the performance. It will probably ruin it because it will ruin the, piano playing. But it was just, I think, honestly, we thought that he wasn't going to be able to redeem himself, but I think in this episode he actually did. It wasn't any like ulterior motive behind this beach night, and everybody just seemed like they were just kind of like having a good time. Like no one was pressured to do anything. Chloe was doing ballet on the beach, just living her best life, and everyone's just sitting there having a good time because the previous episode was so intense, and I mean this whole situation is super intense, and I think with him putting that together, or if Lana put that together, whoever put it together, it was just kind of like, let's just have fun for like a second and just enjoy ourselves. So I liked it. It made him seem a little less, I don't know, like a jerk. So it was cool.
And really quick in the live chat, we have people commenting because I was asking everybody what they thought of this episode, and Jill chimed in immediately and was commenting on Bryce's singing and his music playing, and then Anna Delva also is commenting about it, and Free Joe Exotic says it was a little bit pitchy for his taste.
A little pitchy. I like the Simon Cowell comment.
Yes, that was really funny.
That was good.
I liked the party. I agree completely with Tori. Like it just kind of lightened the mood. Everybody had a good time. I think Bryce knows he's not, I don't know, Frank Sinatra or name some amazing singer, right? He's having a good time. Everybody seemed to have a good time. And Jesse, whether he's a good singer or piano player or not, doesn't seem like it matters because it works on Chloe.
Yeah, I mean, she's totally into it. I love Chloe. So it's so hard for me to be like, see her with him because I don't like him. But you got to give it to the girl. She's always positive about things. And, what is that?
Yeah, Bam Bam's coming in.
Bam Bam's coming in.
Yeah, but,
God.
I love Chloe, but not a fan of Bryce yet. So maybe he'll change my mind. I don't know.
AfterBuzz fans know Bam Bam very well. He's
so
in
cute.
many after shows. I liked it. I liked the connection with Chloe. I thought it was cute. And of course, we're going to see where it goes for the rest of the episode. And right around here in the episode, we finally see the beginnings of, this bromance that I guess we saw bubbling a little bit between Sharron and David. I thought it was cute for as much as you want to say a bromance is cute, I guess. They seemed like they had a really fun friend connection. A little bit dangerous. Do we think, Jesse, do you think David should have been more cautious about this, knowing he had something for Rhonda?
Oh man, it's such a hard situation because I love the relationship that he has with Sharron. I think those two guys are so cute together. But at the same time, Sharron last episode in front of the group said, I'm not going to find love here. And I don't know how in depth they spoke about his relationship with Rhonda, but it felt like he didn't want anything serious. He just wanted to hook up. So then David and Rhonda get put in a situation which gets really weird. First, if I had to stare in somebody's eyes for like I have no idea even how long, I would be laughing like hysterically and feeling awkward as like hell. But he was like crying and I was like, why are you crying right now?
Why are you crying?
But then I was like, oh, okay, like you guys are cute together. And I, kind of got off the Rhonda Sharron bandwagon, I guess, and I was like on David and Rhonda. I was like, oh, they're so cute together, and he's so sincere, and he's such a nice guy. So I don't know. I just really like David. I think he's a really nice guy. I wish it would have worked with Rhonda, but Sharron now is acknowledging his feelings, and he wants more than just hooking up with Rhonda. So I think David did a really hard thing, but a really nice thing. He spoke to his friend about it, and then, decided to step aside so that he could go forward with her.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect segue. Let's just get into it, because this was the workshop for today's episode, right? They were paired up and they had to do, body language exercises, basically. And it boiled down to the girls hugging the guys, and the guys were supposed to figure out what emotion they were portraying. And then they did the soul gazing thing where they just stared at each other. I was like, is that the only stuff they did? That seems like it's about 5 minutes worth of activity. I thought it was very weird. We find out that Nicole's left boob is more effective than her right one in displaying emotion. That's important. And I'm going to give it up to you guys to say what you thought about the event. But I wanted to toss this out there. Anybody notice that Kelz kissed Fran's shoulder?
Her arm, yeah.
That's a violation as far as I'm concerned. That's $3K, I think. And I feel robbed, Kelsey.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, wait, is anyone else seeing this? Is Lon gonna chime in? Like, what's going on here? I guess it wasn't bad enough, but I thought that was very interesting. And I thought the whole thing was weird. I mean, I kind of thought it was cute when David cried. I was like, oh my God. I probably would have done the same thing as Rhonda. She was like, wait, are you crying? I also thought it was kind of funny that they didn't realize everyone else had stopped hugging and they kept hugging. That kind of made me laugh. But the whole arm kiss thing was just weird. I was like, don't kiss my arm. And then
because I mean, Tori, if we can kiss body parts, then without penalty, this whole thing goes out the window, right? Because there's plenty to do.
I was really confused, only because that, and then at the end of the episode, Sharon's hand was like touching Rhonda's butt, and nobody said anything. Well, nobody. Lana didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, wait, what? I had to like think about what the rules are again, because I definitely thought those two would have like been some sort of deduction, but maybe there was a glitch in the system.
I think the rules are bendable at best. So if not, like whatever, whoever is manning Lana at that given point is probably making up and doing some game time decisions. But we come off of that and we see the real connection between David and Sharron. I was happy for them. They seemed like they were actually connected and it was something real. And what perfect timing for something real to come out when we do get the watches. Everybody comes together. Harry gets to open Lana's box. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And we're not so subtle with the entendres, are we, Netflix? And the watches come out. And of course, we know if the watches aren't lit up, then the same rules apply. And if they go green, then they're allowed to make out. And they're only supposed to go green with a genuine connection, Bam Bam. Sorry, Bam Bam's on a high because he just did Bachelor News Daily yesterday. All right, buddy. So we get a date. Francesca and Kelz. Interesting. Something new for Francesca. We thought she was kind of cornered off just with Haley after the whole Harry stuff. But here's an opportunity with this nude guy who seems to be, really nice, really genuine, following the rules and all that kind of stuff. Of course, she's the one breaking all the rules. He's the one following them. They go to the hot tub. I thought it was funny because I immediately thought of our own Jesse Zahner, because Harry and Sharron pop right by, giggling and kind of ruining the date. And then you guys know what happens. She puts it on like as hard as she possibly can to get this guy to make out with her and break the rules. And then it's back to shower time and she wants to shower together. And then he's like, no, when the time is right, we can take a shower. But she's in there all of a sudden and rubbing him down and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know. Just like I think Jesse is about to say, it makes really good TV. Like, I'm down to watch it, right? But from an actual gameplay perspective, what do you do? You're already on the kind of F list with everybody, right? And we're just ruining this. Why bother? And I'm going to throw it to you. my initial reaction when they were in the hot tub and all this stuff was going down was, instead of just, undressing each other that much more with your eyes or doing all this overtly sexual stuff, why don't you ask each other about each other? Why don't you try to make like a fake, genuine connection, like anything, so that the show will kind of give it to you. The show wants them to make out and stuff. It's part of what everybody kind of wants to see by tuning in. So, I mean, Kelsey, like, what is the deal?
I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, instead of using their time to attempt to, even fake connect, they just kept looking down at their watches and like lusting over each other. And I was like, you guys are stupid. Like, come on. I mean, and I think as we saw with like Rhonda and Sharron, it didn't take that much to get the green light, right? It really didn't take that much. So I don't know. It was kind of just like, I wasn't surprised that
Tori,
they weren't trying, but it was upsetting.
Tori, do you think the show is purposely holding back, or did they have an opportunity to get a green light? And what do you think about the way they ended it?
No, they didn't have an opportunity to get a green light because they didn't talk about anything except for how much they wanted to get the green light. I feel like even though, of course, you want your watch to light up, the show knows they can see, they can hear what you guys are talking about. And if you're not talking about anything to even help you guys get to know each other, I don't know why you think the show is just going to give it to you guys when the whole show is based on this challenge. And it just kind of seemed like they weren't trying. It was just kind of like, okay, so are we just going to sit in this hot tub and just complain about how much we want to kiss each other but we can't, instead of actually using this time to kind of have a sort of bonding moment or see if we even do have a connection. It was just kind of like, honestly, after a while it was a waste of time because they were just sitting there looking at each other.
Yeah. Jesse, what do you think about the way they ended this? In this point in the show, did you think stuff with them was going to continue? And, Francesca would like respect where Kelz is coming from? Or how'd you feel when they ended the showering?
The shower, yeah.
I really, after everything that happened with Harry, wanted to give this girl a chance. I kind of felt that at the beginning, but like there is really no substance to her. And that's why I feel like she fits well with Harry, because I don't know if there is to him either. Like, I don't know sometimes like how these people make connection with anybody in life, because like there's just nothing to her. So I didn't expect her to get so upset that he didn't kiss her. I thought she would like understand why, but I thought it was kind of like what Kelz said. He thought she was going to like him more. I thought the same thing, but I never once thought that she was going to like ask him a question about himself or like get to know him any better or anything like that. She's just not that kind of girl, I feel like.
I would go back to, I think Kelsey said it before, but I hated when she said the whole, I get what I want, men come to me. Again, optics. Not as many anymore when the show comes out.
Or even when she was like, I'm not really concerned about the money. Like, I really don't care. And it's like, there are 9 other people that do.
Instagram dries up too,
Yeah, and speaking of money, we have people in the live chat that are still like confused about the money thing. Like, is it $100,000 a piece, or does it get split up?
We're confused too.
We don't know. We're just
but
confused.
There's no way it's $100,000 a piece. This show is not popping out $1 million prize money, so it's definitely just $100K. What I'm more surprised about is, and then Jesse, definitely go back to the chat, but we're halfway through. There's got to be so much stuff on the cutting room floor. Like, there's got to be a week plus worth of footage that we're not seeing. Nothing happened. No workshops, no whatever. I don't know. Jesse, something else in the chat before we move on?
Yeah. So we had that question about the $100,000. We have a lot of people just commenting everything. Ann Delva says, what about Harry getting a little bit jealous of the whole situation with Francesca and Kelz? And then
we're gonna get to the 2 jealous guys near the end.
And then Jill Z says, can someone tell me what the objectives of being on the show is?
Oh, like, what were they? Instagram followers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gotta be
100%.
I mean, let's just be honest. And I've said this before. Actually, I said it on our Married at First Sight after show earlier this week. what I love about this current season of The Bachelor, if anybody's watching Bachelor, listen to your heart. I do that show too. I love that they take away the pretense in there. We already know each and every one of them wants a record deal. They want to be known as a musician. They want publicity. Great. Now that that's out of the way, they can actually look for love. Here, we got to kind of be like, well, Francesca does Instagram, so she probably wants more followers. Maybe she wants love. And what about this guy? So they all want some fame. Everybody going on a reality show, I think it's fair to say
they all want followers. 100%.
But realistically,
100%.
like also aside from that, the money, like how much are these people getting? Because at this point, there's 11 people on the beach, I guess.
Right.
We're down to $94,000. So you're like really not making that much money off of it.
Right.
No.
Especially after taxes.
Yeah.
So
exactly. For real, though.
So at that point, do you just like go ham and just do whatever you want? Because like basically you're on vacation, and if you would have paid for the vacation and just, like it's not that much money. So are they going to kick people off?
I mean, that's right. If they, just to make the math easy, if it was just 10 people in 94, they're all getting $9,500 about after taxes, like maybe $7,000. I mean, $7,000's nice. It's worth it. It's worth not making out with some strangers on an island for a little. For a TV
I'm
show.
down with the whole money thing, but I'm just like, it's not that much money.
We got to wait and see. I mean, we only got watches this episode. So maybe next episode or two from here, it turns out people are getting eliminated. We don't know. Let's keep it moving, though, because we're running out of time. David makes up his own date with Rhonda, the champagne. And he said during that event, and this was the big standout thing, that he stopped seeing her body and really saw her when they were doing the staring exercises.
Sharron. Not David.
No, David. David said this. David said this.
Oh, when he
Rhonda.
does. Yes.
And that's why he was crying. And Rhonda says no one has ever said that to her. No one's ever looked at her like that, or at least she hasn't felt it like that. Kelsey, I thought this was like a genuine connection. And that's why I was kind of sad that it doesn't end up going anywhere. And he sidesteps for Sharron.
I know. I was torn because I wanted David to be with Rhonda because I love Rhonda and I love David. And I'm like, I loved this. And like Jesse said, I was kind of over the whole like Sharron Rhonda boat because that kind of bummed me out, especially what he did at the campfire. But it just showed how good of a person and how like good of a friend and a mate and a bro that David is. I was like, you are a big, like, I think that at least the show has shown us that he has a big heart, and hopefully he comes out of this on top because he's really giving and like changing and trying to evolve as a person. And I was like, you go. So proud of you.
Yeah, I like it. Tori?
Yeah, I felt the same way. It was kind of like, what team am I on? Because I started to like ship David and Rhonda, and I've only seen them together for like maybe a complete of 15 minutes. But I was just like Kelsey and Jesse said, I have to agree. Like I was kind of turned off from the last episode when he made that whole thing. And I was just kind of like, okay, well, is Rhonda just wasting her time? And of course, nothing that is worth having comes easy, and I get that, but it was kind of heartbreaking to hear him say that. And so it was nice to see her explore being with David, and then for him to say something that she's never heard before. I was like, wait, this could be an even deeper connection, on top of the fact that he's a little bit more open with sharing his feelings with her, and that's something that's clearly important to her. So I was on the fence. Like I didn't know who to ship more, but I guess they made the decision for us because now it's Sharron and Rhonda are back a thing. So I mean, like you said, David, I want the best for him. Like, can we just give him the money now?
Yeah.
I was just hoping that this allowed Rhonda to open her eyes a little bit, and maybe if everybody else sees this, they can learn something too. Don't let people just take you at face value, especially like a potential boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It should be something you deserve to have something deeper and have somebody actually care about who you are, not just your, your physical appearance. Not like I'm saying anything revolutionary, but evidently, there's people out there who need to hear it and need to go by it. I want to just move on again, because we're running out of time. This evidently was a good episode. Francesca to her little BFF Haley is not happy that Kelz was able to resist her. I am, but she's not. And it kind of decides in this whole thing, you know what? I'm actually really attracted to Harry and not so much Kelz. And then, of course, we know she goes and breaks up with him, sure, while he is lifting weights. Jesse, where did you end up on this side of everything? Did Kelz just dodge a bullet?
Yes, 100% he did. First, I actually like Kelz, and at the beginning of this episode, like I was like, oh my God, he's like my favorite. Well, I love David now too, and everybody in the chat seems to love him as well. But I love Kelz. And so when they put him with Francesca, I'm like, oh, this is crazy because it's like the most likable dude and the most dislikable girl together. And yeah, he definitely dodged a bullet. Francesca is I'm so over her right now. I'm literally so mad at her right now. I wish she could like just turn the corner a little bit, but there's just nothing to this girl.
No.
Maybe it's going to take a new person. Let's just round this out because the episode basically ends. We get this lovely beach date between Sharron and Rhonda. And Sharron, you know, kudos to him. He breaks down some walls. He really talks about how he's feeling. And then, of course, we know they get the green light and they get to go to their version of the fantasy suite, which is also a surprise for everybody yesterday. But in the fantasy suite, we find out there are going to be no green lights. So there's no hanky-panky going on. Kelsey, are they going to remain hands off in the fantasy suite?
Oh, I'm gonna say yes, because I have faith. I don't have faith in Sharron at all. I have faith in Rhonda. I think that she has also turned a corner with how she sees herself after David helped her with that. So I think she's gonna say, no, we can do this. And I think they're not gonna do anything.
Tori, are we happy with this couple the way they all ended up? Because it seems like David is, and I feel like if David's happy for him, then we should feel cool too.
Yeah, I was definitely holding my breath to see David's reaction because I mean that was a very mature thing for him to do because they've only known each other for a short period of time and nobody's really like lifelong friends yet or in a lifelong committed relationship. So technically you don't have to have like any loyalty to anyone, but that just really showed his character, especially knowing a little bit of Sharron's backstory and his history. I think that was really nice of him to do. And like you said, as long as he's happy, I'm happy. And I just want David to be okay, honestly.
Well, I felt a little bit bad because even David said, you know, I feel good about it. And then he said, you know what? The old David wouldn't have done this. But the new David is like looking at it different. Jesse, I felt like he should have got a green light for himself.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Choose who you want.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, how can you not like David? It's kind of like what you've been saying these past episodes is like, how are you coming off to people? David is winning right now. Like he's coming off like a really good guy. And I'm happy for them if he's happy. I mean, they check on him. He says he's okay and go David. I love it.
I hope they do like superlatives at the end and he gets like an extra stash of money for actually growing through this process.
Right?
Yeah.
He and Kelz too for being able to say no and attempting to not shower with her. That whole part was weird. I was like, wait, didn't he just say no? Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know how some of this behind the scenes production works, but I feel like each and every one of these folks are prime real estate for an MTV challenge. So I think there's probably some more reality shows in their future. Guys, that is going to do it for episode 4. We're halfway there, all 4 episodes in one day. Real quick, because not a lot changed gameplay-wise this episode. Like Jesse said earlier, we're at $94,000, only 2 infractions. That's no fun. Only 2 infractions so far. Does anybody want, and no one lost anybody in their fantasy, of course, because nobody cheated. Does anybody want to change who they think the next person to break the rules is going to be? Right now, Kelsey has Chloe, and the rest of us have Bryce, and I'm not changing.
Well, no, I'm not changing.
No, everybody's good?
I have Chloe in both camps, so really.
So it's
a win-win, really.
All right, well, we're sticking with it. Guys, let us know what you think. Who is the next person to break the rules? But that's going to do it for us tonight. Real quick, I pulled up the schedule so that I could let everybody know. On Sunday, that is Sunday the 19th, we've got 3 more episodes that we're going to be doing of Too Hot to Handle. They're going to be at 2 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. PST, and 9 p.m. PST. That's going to be 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to do the finale, episode 8, on Monday the 20th at 3 p.m. PST. So keep up to date. Follow us on Twitter and everything. Jesse's real good about putting out when we're going to be doing the shows. Of course, you can always come back and watch here on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. AfterBuzz has got you guys covered throughout this quarantine with after shows for all of your favorite shows, and we love hearing from you guys. We love doing this for you guys so much. Again, the next time we're going to do this is on Sunday at 2 p.m. PST. Bam Bam is ready for bedtime. Guys, until Sunday, you guys are going to have a great weekend. Kelsey, where can they keep up with y'all?
On all social media, Kelsmeyer 2.
Tori?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Toxic Model or on Twitter at Tori with 2 E's.
Jesse Zahner.
You guys can find me all over social media at Athletic, and thank you so much for joining us in the live chat.
You want to shout some people out in the live chat real quick?
Yeah, we got
Let's make producer Ryan Swiggle.
Yes, we got Jill Z and Delva and Free Joe Exotic in the live chat. So thanks so much, guys, for all your comments and talking live with us about the show.
We love you guys. Thank you so much. My name is Mike Feeling. You can follow me everywhere at Mike Feeling. Have a fantastic weekend. Don't watch ahead. I'm going to watch on Sunday. Back to the Palapa. Good night.
Palapa. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.